It's pretty amazing when you think about it. Sometimes the key to a whole life story, a life packed with revolution, war, and just incredible success, is hiding in plain sight on a single dusty old document. Today, we're going to unlock one of those stories.
So how can one simple marriage certificate from way back in the year 1800
Possibly be the thread that connects this guy, a 32-year-old major, to this guy, a lieutenant general who died with his nation's highest military honors? Well, let's dive in and find out. Okay, so our whole story kicks off right here. We're looking at a civil marriage record from Arnhem, dated March 23rd, 1800. And trust me, this is way more than just a piece of paper. It's a perfect snapshot of a life-changing moment. The level of detail here is just fantastic. First up, our groom, Jan de Moulin, 32 years old, born in Leeuwarden. But check out his status, a major in the 2nd Battalion of the Batavian Jagers, and he's stationed in the town of Tiel. His bride is Wilhelmina Verstegen. She's 25, born in a place called Rumpt, but at the time of the wedding, she's living in Arnhem. And this document reveals something else that's really fascinating about the planning involved. See, under the law of the Batavian Republic, both Jan and Wilhelmina needed formal permission from their parents to get married. They couldn't just show up. They came prepared with written attestations mailed in from their parents' homes. This tells us this was a really carefully coordinated, family-approved event, not some spur-of-the-moment thing. And here we go. This is the original Dutch entry. It confirms everything with absolute clarity. It says he's a major under the 2nd Battalion, Batavian Jagers. That's not some vague description, right? That's a precise military ID that locks him into a very specific time and place in history. And right here, this is the crucial clue. It's all in the spelling. While some of the indexes spell his name with an E, the original document clearly spells it Moulin with an I. Now, that seems like a tiny detail, but it's a hugely powerful piece of evidence that helps us track this specific guy forward through time. So, with all these little details, we can start to piece together the world they lived in. We can even make a pretty good guess as to how a high-ranking officer and a woman from a quiet village might have actually met. So on the one hand, you've got Jan's world. It's disciplined, it's political, it's the life of a major in the busy garrison town of Tiel. And then you have Wilhelmina's world, a small rural village, Rumpt, where life revolves around farming and family. Two really different environments, but as it turns out, not that far apart. Yeah, this proximity is what makes their meeting so likely. Rumpt and Tiel are only about, 4 or 5 miles apart? He was the officer in the nearby military town. She was the young woman from the village just across the river. This wasn't some long-distance romance. This was a local connection, plain and simple. Now, to really get Jan, you have to understand his unit. The Batavian Jagers, they weren't your average soldiers. They were an elite force in the army of the Batavian Republic, which was the new French-backed government. Being a major in a unit like that meant he was a highly skilled and very trusted officer in this brand new political system. So that wedding record from 1800 is our anchor. It's our starting point. From here, we can zoom out and see a military career that is just staggering in its length and its resilience, spanning one of the most chaotic periods in all of European history. This flag, the flag of the Batavian Army, this represents the very first government that Jan served as a high-ranking officer. But it would not be the last. In fact, he would go on to serve 4 more regimes after this one completely collapsed. And here it is. What an incredible journey. From major in the Batavian Republic, he gets promoted to colonel under Napoleon's brother in the Kingdom of Holland. Then, his country gets annexed into the French Empire, and he just keeps on serving. And after Napoleon's fall, he doesn't just survive the transition, he thrives in it, becoming a major general and then a lieutenant general in the new Kingdom of the Netherlands. This wasn't just a career, It was a masterclass in how to adapt and survive, all while climbing steadily up the ladder to the very, very top. It really all comes down to this one number, 43. 43 years of continuous, uninterrupted military service. Through revolutions, the rise and fall of an empire, and the birth of a whole new kingdom, he stayed in uniform. The records show he was already serving when he was just 17 years old, listed on a conduct roll back in 1784. From that teenager all the way to the seasoned lieutenant general he became in 1826, his entire life was, quite literally, the military. And by the end of that incredibly long career, he had collected just about the highest honors a soldier could possibly receive. I mean, this list here, This is the peak of his career. He was knighted in the Military William Order, that's the highest military award you can get, and the Order of the Netherlands Lion. He was given major commands like Provincial Commandant of West Flanders. This is the resume of one of the nation's absolute top military leaders.
So, how do we know for sure that the major from the wedding in 1800 is the same guy as this decorated general? Well, this estate record from 1823 is the final piece of the puzzle. It explicitly names Johannes de Moulin, Major General Engineer, as the son of his father, Joseph. That's the definitive link that ties his entire life story together.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? A 43-year career, service across 5 different national governments, and the highest honors a kingdom can bestow, all unlocked from the details of a soldier's wedding. How many other incredible lives like this are just waiting to be found, hidden in a single line of a forgotten record?